Sim racing ain't easy. Think about it, we have so many hardware choices, so many setups and settings to play with, and just a slight mistake of another driver can completely change our race. But still, we keep coming back for more. So today I want to talk about that balance, why sim racing can be brutally hard at times, but also why this is exactly what makes it so enjoyable. Because if we understand what's behind the frustration, we can start improving and we can start having fun again. So let me ask you something. Why did you get into sim racing in the first place? Was it a love for cars? Was it because of real life motorsports, the movies? Or maybe you just wanted to feel what it's like to race without the real world cost? Whatever your reason was, I'm willing to bet it's starting with the fun of doing something unique. Sim racing for me was unlike anything I've done before, and I've played a lot of games, but nothing got me hooked like this one, pretending to race real cars. For a few minutes, you almost forget you're sitting at home, you feel like a driver. But as the time went on, the excitement started to change, because once you start racing faster drivers, you have to train harder just to keep up. And that's when I start asking myself, can you still enjoy sim racing when it's this hard? Because the more serious I got, the harder it became to simply have fun. So I took a break, tried something new, another game, another hobby, because that thought, maybe I'm just not cut out for sim racing. This was always in the back of my head. And of course, at first, the new thing felt great. I was improving fast, everything was fresh, exciting, but then the same thing happened. At some point, the game stopped being fun again. I mean, the new game. And that's when it hit me. It's not just sim racing, it's everything. I'm bad at everything. Not exactly that, but no matter what you do, driving, learning guitar, going to the gym, whatever, there's always that point when it gets hard, where progress slows down, where you start questioning yourself. Improvement is never linear. Plateaus and setbacks happen all the time, and the people who keep enjoying it, they're not the ones who avoid the wall. They're the ones who push through it. So with this mentality, I was able to go from an average pace to the top 1% in iRacing. I started my coaching business and built this whole YouTube channel. And I'm not saying this to brag, I honestly believe there's nothing special about my achievements and I'm no better than most of sim racers out there. The only difference is I just kept going. Even when it felt like I wasn't improving, even when I questioned if it was worth it. Because I really liked the idea of doing something at my computer that can potentially translate to a real life skill. And sim racing is 100% that. Sim racers are taking over real life motorsports and is not even something new right now. So I wanted to pursue this activity even if I won't ever drive a real life racing car. I can still feel like I'm gonna be able to handle it if given the opportunity. And if you feel you're like just an average sim racer, man, I can bet everything I've got that you do decently well in a real race car too, if you're doing decently well in sim racing. So if I were to start again from a completely blank state and I wanted to avoid the frustration and actually enjoy sim racing more, here's what I'd do differently. First, I'd stop chasing perfection because that doesn't exist here. You'll never have that perfect lap or that perfect setup, and that's okay. The goal is to be just a little better than yesterday. I treat every mistake as feedback, not as failure. Every spin, every off track, that's the sim trying to teach you something. If you can look at it that way, frustration turns into progress. Then I think more about goals instead of results. Not I want to be faster, but I want to hit my braking points consistently, or I want to carry more speed through this corner, because the lap time will come naturally once your process goals improves. I'd also accept that progress isn't linear. You'll have weeks when you feel stuck, and that's normal. Plateaus are where you build a depth that makes you better long term, and I stopped caring so much about iRating or rank. Those numbers are fun, but they don't define how good you actually are. Your self-worth shouldn't be centered about the ratings, and sometimes I'd even turn off the delta bar just to feel free when driving. Focus on the flow, focus on the rhythm, not on the stopwatch, because that's when driving starts feeling alive again, right? I'd practice shorter, more intentional sessions, 20 minutes focus practice. It's a lot better than 2 hours of grinding, and when I feel drained, I actually take a break before burnout hits. Every now and then, I might switch cars, tracks, just to keep things fresh. Also, I joined some casual races where results don't matter, league racing, being part of a community, laugh, mess around, get bumped a little. We have such a community on my Discord server, so if you want to be part of that, link is in the video description. Also, I'd record my races, not to judge myself, but to see the small improvements I don't notice in the moment and to celebrate those little wins. A cleaner corner, a better save, you know, those are real progress even if they're small. I'd constantly remind myself why I started, because this is a huge motivation boost, and keep adjusting my expectations as I race more and more, because some days you'll feel like you're doing really good, other days you'll drive like, you know, it's your first lap on the track. That's how it works for everyone. I'd also appreciate how real this actually is, the skills we learn here, awareness, discipline, racecraft, even driving my real car around the town, just being aware of the cars around me. I feel like I've learned so much and I'm doing a lot better now just because I've practiced a lot of sim racing. So they do translate to real life, even if you're not driving a racing car. It's incredible when you think about it. Also, I'd learn how to find joy in the challenge itself, because if it were easy, it wouldn't feel as rewarding, right? And most importantly, I'd trust the long game. Improvement compounds. Even when you can't see it, it's happening, because at the end of the day, you're not just playing a game, you're trying to master a craft. And most people will never experience that. So I hope this video was timed at the right moment for you guys. If you felt like you're stuck, if you felt like, oh man, it's so difficult, just wanted to know that that's something normal and all of us get through this phase. So if you enjoyed it, give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you want me to help you on a week-to-week basis with group coaching sessions, workshops, whatever, I just released the academy. Link is in the video description. You can check that out. But thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.